Hello 127th Wing and welcome to the December drill. I'm General Mammen and today we're filming from the communications focal point here in the 127th Wing. Now I want everybody to remember that the communications systems that we have within the Air Force are considered a weapon system. That weapon system is managed all the way at the highest levels of the Air Force and also down to the local level here in the communications focal point. So they do some really great work down here, but I got to tell you, they are busy every day. Now I'd like to give the wing a quick COVID update. Today we are still in Health Protection Condition Charlie. We have been in HPCon Charlie since last March, but we've been maneuvering within HPCon Charlie to give a little bit more flexibility to organizations throughout the year. This last month though has been a challenge. We've had an increase in COVID positives here on the base, and we've decided to really take additional actions within HPCon Charlie to help protect you, the force. Some of the actions that we have taken to help protect the force include increased teleworking. We've also reduced meeting sizes. With that, we've leveraged technology, for example, Teams, to facilitate meetings. So a lot more things have been accomplished online. We've shifted schedules for people who can't telework in order to reduce the footprint of people here on the base. And we've aggressively quarantined members that may have been exposed to COVID-19. So we're not out of the woods yet, but we're cautiously optimistic. But what I do ask everyone to do is to still pay attention to mask usage, social distancing, and good hygiene. It is so important. All the evidence shows that that will help us prevent the spread of COVID-19. So when I think of the discipline required to wear the mask and social distance and use good hygiene, I think of professionalism. So I ask you to adhere to that culture every day and wear your mask, social distance, and practice good hygiene. This year has been an incredibly busy year despite the COVID pandemic. So let me hit a couple highlights of what we've accomplished throughout the year. The operations group went and deployed to winter basing down in Florida for 2 weeks. The air refueling group was in Guam and they returned in the middle of a pandemic. And then they turned around and deployed more aircraft and more airmen to CENTCOM in the middle of a COVID pandemic. On top of that, we had over 20 defenders who were deployed for 6 months to CENTCOM, and they were extended 2 months due to the COVID pandemic. All just amazing work from a deployment perspective. When I think of one word to describe our culture with all of those deployments and everything that we did to support those deployments, I think of strong. You were strong this year, and it matches up to what you want as a culture in the 127th Wing. This year we also had several distinguished visitors come through Selfridge. We had the President of the United States come through in January. We had the Vice President of the United States come through in June. We had the Secretary of the Air Force, the Vice Chief of the National Guard Bureau, and the Executive Director of the Readiness Center were all here in November. Each one of those visits went without a hitch. And that is a testament to the professionalism of everybody here in the wing. And it really shows how we are effective as an organization. Again, one of those words that you want the 127th Wing to be. Now, the Secretary of the Air Force was here primarily to recognize Major Brett DeVries with the Distinguished Flying Cross. Major DeVries earned the Distinguished Flying Cross when he displayed superior airmanship in a flight back in 2017. He was strafing a target at the Grayling Range and the gun exploded. That resulted in the canopy being jettisoned and numerous panels being blown off the aircraft. He ended up having to land that aircraft without landing gear and with the canopy off. That airplane will come back to service soon. This is not only a testament to Brett DeVries' airmanship and his heroism, but also to all those who supported him throughout this. His wingman, Major Shannon Vickers, did a fantastic job helping him recover that crippled aircraft. When I think of that story, I go back to my word grid and I think of two more words. I think of proud and I think of inspiring. Major DeVries made me proud and I'm inspired by what he did. Well done. This year, our community and Selfridge lost a hero. Lieutenant Colonel retired Digger Odell, who was a prisoner of war in the Hanoi Hilton for almost 6 years, passed away this year. Digger Odell has been a cornerstone of Michigan communities, and he's been an absolute advocate for Selfridge Air National Guard Base and everybody who works here. We will remember his efforts and his contributions to not only our military, but to our community fondly. Now I'd like to hand it off to Command Chief Gordon. He's at the fire department and he has a few words for you as well.
Thank you, General Mammen. Team Selfridge, I'm coming at you today from your very own 127th Wing Fire Department. These unsung heroes are without a doubt the best trained and best equipped firefighters that you'll find anywhere in the world. They stand ready 24/7, 365 days a year to protect life, property, and the assets that we need to perform our wartime mission. Now, here with me today is one of our newest firefighters, Senior Airman Matthew Shaver. He is fresh out of fire school where he was named top honor graduate. Airman Shaver, I'm dang glad to have you and welcome to the team.
Thank you, Chief Gordon. I'm happy to be here.
This month, I want to talk to you a little bit about fire safety during the holiday season. Many fires this time of year are a result of electrical short circuit or faulty wiring. However, there are some things that we can do to mitigate the risk of electrical fires during the holiday season. First, be careful not to overload electrical outlets with too many decorations. These outlets can become overheated and cause fire. And never connect more than 3 strings of lights together. Secondly, always inspect your light cords and your extension cords for damage before use. Any damage found on that wiring, those wires need to be immediately discarded. Next, if you have a live Christmas tree, make sure that you water it often. A dried Christmas tree is more likely to catch fire. And lastly, ensure that all outdoor lighting is plugged into ground fault circuit interrupters, more commonly known as GFCIs. Team, take care of yourselves and take care of one another this holiday season. And remember, we are all in this together. My best to you and your families. Now back to you, General Mammen.
Thanks, Chief. So now let's look at December drill. This drill will be lightly attended as we have done in previous drills. And the reason behind that is the COVID pandemic. I've given squadron commanders maximum flexibility to, one, maintain readiness, but at the same time maintain the health and safety of every person here on this base. This drill, we are going to recognize our outstanding Airman of the Year. We'll get more information out to you on how we're going to do that as we move forward. And with that, I want to talk about one more word on the word grid, and that is connected. This pandemic that we're living in right now has been very, very difficult for all airmen to stay connected with each other. Going into the Christmas holidays and the New Year's, I ask every airman to connect with your wingmen out there. Talk to them, see how they're doing, make sure that we're all being resilient. I want everybody to be back here safely in January. So again, please reach out and stay connected. Just remember, we have tools available to help airmen in need. We have financial resources, we have counseling resources, we have our Wing app that has amazing information on there. So please leverage what you can and please stay connected. Thank you for your leadership and thank you for your professionalism.